Hello, Brampton South. This is Ted Harrelson. Today's May 25th, 2020. Look at these small businesses. I'm here at the corner of here, Ontario, and Steeles is down that way, and this is Charolais. Look at these small businesses. There's been no physical catastrophe. No war, yet you see stillness. Where action should be, where life should be, where buying and selling should be, but it isn't. You see before you the result of a political pandemic, a pragmatic, blind decision by our Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Premier Doug Ford to shut Canada and this province down of its retail operations. And you can see the empty parking lot right here. What should have been our money, your money, has been stopped, dead cold. The flow, the energy, the velocity of spending was stopped abruptly by the emergency acts. But now the money flow has been suddenly taken from the retail merchants, Brampton small businesses. The retail operations are in collapse. And of course, that means bankruptcy. I've seen many stores already closed, and I'm beginning to see plaza signs for sale. The corner of Queen and McLaughlin, that plaza is for sale. This would never happen if these businesses had sovereignty over their property. And I mean sovereignty. If they had, for example, their own supply of money, like a fractional gold standard, or what I prefer, a full gold standard. But before we get wrapped up in economic talk or economics, I want you to follow the finances. This is what I want you to take note of. All businesses is integrated, large or small. And this means all so-called essential businesses are dependent upon so-called non-essential businesses. And I'm going to show you an example right here. The destruction of one sector is also the destruction of the other. The wholesale destruction of any business sector will necessarily destroy the rest. And in human terms, of course, all lives are essential. The small businesses here worked hard to please you. They had to think hard and scramble to provide you with the best possible products and services they could. They worked hard with little room for mistakes. Even small mistakes could put them under. And believe me, this has been catastrophic. Competition ensured the lowest price and the best possible product would be delivered to you. But now take a look at this. Winners today is no winner, thanks to the unwise decisions by our political leaders, Justin Trudeau and Doug Ford. What I want you to do is watch this parking lot. There's a proposal for this entire parking lot to be turned into a complex of commercial, residential, and various service offices, condominium, and student buildings. It would be an excellent project. See, here it is. You can see the types of services that are proposed right there. Service, retail, commercial, apartments, townhouses, office, commercial, open space, institutional, public park, and so on. So it'll be a nice development. That means this parking lot right here, going all around this building, all around the mall, all around the Shoppers World, will be built up. And filled. Because as it now stands, it's not making money anywhere. It's not doing anybody any good. And as you can tell now, nobody's filling it up. The economic damage of those is real. So are its effects. Housing costs will not go down due to limited housing development if this plaza is not developed as it is planned. And if these merchants here are not making money, what makes you think the land developer will have the money to go ahead and develop as he wanted in this parking lot and wrapping around the building? There's a lot of damage. If they are not making any money, the land developers are not making any money, because they're not making money from these merchants here, and any other plazas that they may own are likewise shut down, and they're running in the red, and many of these are very close to bankruptcy. So the chain is going up. At first it affected the individual, then the lockdown affected the small merchants, and now the small merchants are not paying their rent or their lease. So the money being lost now is going up the chain. It's not really a chain, it's a causation of events whereby the entire economy, as I said before, is interlinked. You can't destroy one sector without destroying the other. And all this thanks to Doug Ford and Justin Trudeau. The lockdown should never have happened, and wouldn't if we had wise leadership in Ontario, which we do not, and we do not have wise leadership in Canada. You can see there is some activity, yes, but these are favored businesses by government. And that too goes against all human nature. A rights-respecting government would have left business alone and concentrated only on providing medicine and help to the sick, such as those in hospitals and those in long-term care, senior citizens, and billions would have been saved, and there would have been no lockdown. But now the damage is done. I want to make a note that the reason why the decision was to lock down and to keep it locked down now, even though the virus has passed and the governments seem persistent and incessant. They insist on searching for new COVID cases. And that leads me to believe that they're after a certain kind of power. The power of the status quo. I call it the power of the mixed economy. They want businesses to act as if everything is normal, and yet at the same time they wish to have their arbitrary whim asserted and inserted whenever and however they wish. And to keep this certain level of arbitrariness, they have to refer to something that has worked for millennia. It's the principle of sacrifice. Despots have used it, popes have used it, kings have used it. You must sacrifice. And today, Doug Ford, Justin Trudeau do not wish the public sector, those bureaucrats, to sacrifice. In fact, they praise them heavily, giving them extra $4 an hour and giving them the limelight, not just monetary rewards. But they expect the private sector to do all the sacrificing. They expect the private sector to keep on working, to keep on producing, and to keep on going no matter what. Even if they took 99.9% of all your money, they'd want you to keep on producing, because they use your own virtues against you. They know you want to live, and you will do what it takes to live. And to me, that is very evil, banal. It's about as wicked as you can get when it comes to governing. So, but I want to end on a good note. I see voices protesting this political pandemic here in Toronto, and I wish more people would protest in Brampton. And I see people protesting across Canada. And on that note, I would say that the small business associations, like the small business institutes and small business representatives, have failed businesses. They didn't fight hard enough. They didn't sacrifice. They didn't give all they had to fight for the people they represented. The small businesses who are now sitting idle. So I think that small business in Brampton and across Ontario and Canada need to start forming their own organizations, their own new representatives who will fight for them, stand up for their self-interests, and let people know the value of their services. And somebody needs to knock some sense into these two partners in crime, Doug the Thug and Trudeau the Terror. Look at the damage they have caused. Okay, that's it, folks. I wish you good business wherever you go, and retain your sovereignty. Retain your sovereignty. Otherwise, we don't have a democratic country, and we need to speak up. If you let anything happen to you without saying a word, then what rights have you exercised? We all have rights, but we must exercise them just as diligently and as hard as the government forces its imperatives upon you. You must push back and say, no, my life is valuable. My life is real. My life is not made to sacrifice. I am not sacrificial fodder for your dreams and arbitrary wishes. My life is mine. Thank you, folks. See you next time.